Chapter 26, the last chapter, Brahmana Vaga. Brahmana refers to the holy man or the religious man. This verse 383, I think is is from the Tayana Gatha. Tayana Gatha is the verses of the Deva Tayana. He spoke these verses to a monk. Exert yourself and cut off the stream of craving. Discard sense desires, O religious man. Having known the destruction of volitions, become a knower of the uncreate, O religious man. So he's telling the monk to practice hard, cut the stream of craving, cut off desires also, to attain Nibbana. 384. When a holy man has reached the summit of the two paths, he knows the truth and all his fetters fall away. These two paths must be samatha and vipassana, as I mentioned. 385. He for whom there is neither this shore nor the other shore, nor yet both, who is free of cares and is unfettered, him do I call a holy man. 386. He who is meditative and stainless, settled and whose work is done, free from the asavas, having reached the highest goal, him do I call a holy man. So the real holy man has finished his work, destroyed the asavas, the uncontrolled mental outflows, and he has no more wants. So he doesn't think of this shore or the other shore or anything. 387. The sun shines by day, the moon shines by night, the warrior shines in armor, the holy man shines in meditation, but the Buddha shines resplendent all day and all night. When we meditate, and if we get a good meditation, light will come forth from inside of us. That's why the holy man shines in meditation. 388. Because he has discarded evil, he is called a holy man, a Brahmana. Because he is serene in conduct, he is called a recluse, Samana. And because he has renounced his own impurities, he is called a renunciate, Pabajja, Pabajito, Pabajita. So, holy man has discarded evil, a recluse is serene in conduct, and a real renunciant has renounced his impurities, his unwholesome states. 389. One should not strike a holy man, nor should a holy man when struck, give way to anger. Shame on him who strikes a holy man, and more shame on him who gives way to anger. So this is samana dhamma, the dhamma of a monk, how a monk should behave. When anger is given to him, he should not retaliate. That is very difficult to do. Very, very difficult to do. So if a monk can do it, it's a real monk. 290. Nothing is better for a holy man than when he holds his mind back from what is endearing. To the extent that thoughts of harming wear away, to that extent the suffering subside. So what is endearing, what is pleasant for a monk? He should know the danger, hold himself back, and also anger and harming. He has to cut away also. 391. He who does no evil in deed, word and thought, who is restrained in these three ways, him do I call a holy man. So he does no evil in the three ways, the three karmas, deed, word and thought. 392. Just as a Brahmin priest reveres his sacrificial fire, even so should one devoutly revere the person from whom one has learned the Dhamma taught by the Supreme Buddha. So, if you learn something from a person on the Dhamma, you should appreciate. 393. Not by matted hair, nor by lineage, nor by birth does one become a holy man. But he in whom truth and righteousness exist, he is pure, he is a holy man. 394. What is the use of your matted hair, witless man? What of your garment of antelope's height? Within you is a tangle of passion. Only outwardly do you cleanse yourself. So a lot of people from the outside, they look like a monk, look like a holy man. But what is important is not the outside, it's the inside. 395. The person who wears a robe made from rags, who is lean, with veins showing all over the body, and who meditates alone in the forest, him do I call a Brahmana, a holy man. So a person who is serious about the holy path, he lives alone in the forest. 396. I do not call him a holy man because of his lineage or his high-born mother. If he has impeding attachments, he is just a supercilious man. But he who is free from impediments and clinging, him do I call a holy man. You see here, because of lineage, nowadays some monks, they're very proud, they belong to a certain lineage. But here the Buddha says that is not important at all. Your monk's lineage or your parents' lineage, all that is not important. What is important is to cut off the impurities inside, the clinging, that is important. 397. He who, having cut off all fetters, trembles no more, who has overcome all attachments and is emancipated, him do I call a holy man. So if we have cut off our attachments, and we have no attachments, then we tremble no more. Whatever happens, we are not attached. 398. He who has cut off the thong of hatred, the band of craving, and the rope of false views, together with the appurtenances, latent evil tendencies, he who has removed the crossbar, ignorance, and is enlightened, him do I call a holy man. Not easy to do all this. 399. He who, without resentment, endures abuse, beating, and punishment, whose power, real might, is patience, him do I call a holy man. This patience or forbearance is, the Buddha calls the highest austerity. It's hard to practice. 400. He who is free from anger, devout, virtuous, without craving, self-subdued, bearing his final body, him do I call a holy man. If he is bearing his final body, he's Arahant already. 401. Like water on a lotus leaf or a mustard seed on the point of a needle, he who does not cling to sensual pleasures, him do I call a holy man. So sensual pleasures does not attach to him, and sensual pleasures fall off like water from a lotus leaf for this holy man. 402. He who in this very life realizes for himself the end of suffering, who has laid aside the burden and become emancipated, him do I call a holy man. This burden refers to the burden of the 5 aggregates, body, feelings, perception, volition, and consciousness, which is basically body and mind. The ordinary person carries this burden of the self in the body and the mind. 403. He of profound knowledge, wise, skilled in discerning the right path and the wrong path, who has reached the highest goal, him do I call a holy man. This profound knowledge is not worldly knowledge, it's the knowledge of the Dhamma. 404. He who holds aloof from householders and ascetics alike, and wanders about with no fixed abode, and but few wants, him do I call a holy man. This is aloofness, a person who's serious on the holy path. He's aloof from lay people, and is also aloof from other monks. 405. He who has renounced violence towards all living beings, weak or strong, who neither kills nor causes others to kill, him do I call a holy man. This one does not harm any living being at all. 406. He who is friendly amidst the hostile, peaceful amidst the violent, and unattached amidst the attached, him do I call a holy man. 407. He from whom lust and hatred, pride and contempt have fallen off like a mustard seed from the point of a needle, him do I call a holy man. All these unwholesome habits and states he has discarded. 408. He who utters gentle, instructive and truthful words, who implicates none, him do I call a holy man. Buddha says a good speech has a few characteristics. It must be truthful, it must be beneficial, it must be spoken gently, it must be spoken with a mind of loving kindness, and it must be spoken at the right time. The right time. For example, when a person is angry, don't try to give him advice, he won't accept it. 409. He who in this world takes nothing that is not given to him, be it long or short, small or big, good or bad, him do I call a holy man. 410. He who wants nothing of either this world or the next, who is desire-free and emancipated or liberated, him do I call a holy man. There's no self, so he has nothing that he wants. 411. He who has no attachments, who through perfect knowledge is free from doubts and has plunged into the deathless, him do I call a holy man. 412. He who in this world has transcended the ties of both merit and demerit, who is sorrowless, stainless and pure, him do I call a holy man. Since there is no more self, so he is not attached to merit or demerit. 413. He who, like the moon, is spotless and pure, serene and clear, who has destroyed the delight in existence, him do I call a holy man. 414. He who, having gone beyond this miry, perilous and delusive round of existence, has crossed over and reached the other shore, meditative, calm and free from doubt, who by clinging to nothing has attained to Nibbana, him do I call a holy man. 415. He who, having abandoned sense pleasures, wanders about as a homeless one, who has destroyed both sensual desire and continued existence, him do I call a holy man. 416. He who, having abandoned craving, wanders about as a homeless one, who has destroyed both craving and continued existence, him do I call a holy man. 417. He who, having cast off the human born and transcended the celestial or heavenly born, is delivered from all bondage, him do I call a holy man. So there's no more desire to be a human or even to be a deva or devi. 418. He who, having cast off like and dislike, has become tranquil, rid of the substrata of existence, a hero who has conquered all the worlds, him do I call a holy man. There's no more like and dislikes. 419. He who in every way knows the death and rebirth of beings and is totally detached, blessed and enlightened, him do I call a holy man. He knows the death and rebirth of beings because he has the divine or heavenly eye, and he can see how beings take rebirth according to karma. 420. He whose track no gods, no angels, no humans can trace, the Arahant who has destroyed the asavas, him do I call a holy man. When an Arahant passes away, the consciousness does not continue, so he has no tracks, nobody can trace where he has gone. 421. He who clings to nothing of the past, present and future, who has no attachment and holds on to nothing, him do I call a holy man. 422. He the noble, the excellent, the hero, the great sage, the conqueror, the passionless, the pure, the enlightened, him do I call a holy man. 423. He who knows his former births, who sees heaven and hell, who has reached the end of births and has attained to the perfection of supernormal insight, the sage who has reached the summit of spiritual excellence, him do I call a holy man. Okay, that's the end of the Dhammapada.